Hey guys, good morning. Former President Donald Trump returning to Georgia today with an impressive lineup, including Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Dr. Ben Carson, country music singer Jason Aldean, and former collegiate swimmer Riley Gaines. And on Friday, Trump will record an interview with podcasting giant Joe Rogan. Politico reporting that the interview will take place at Rogan's studio in Austin, Texas. His podcast has more than 17 million subscribers on YouTube and more than 14 million followers on Spotify. And as the former president keeps up his busy schedule, he is taking digs at Vice President Kamala Harris for taking a day off campaigning with just 2 weeks before the election. Listen.
She took a day off. She's got no energy at all. Her speeches last for about 15 minutes. Peter knows that, by Peter. Her speeches last for about 15, 20 minutes. She's out of there. And right now, so think of this. We have 14 days to the most important election in the history of our country. It's actually only important for that. For us, it's important. For them, I don't think it's that important.
Instead, Harris is sitting for an interview with NBC where she seems to forget which battleground states she's recently visited while trying to defend her economic proposals against Trump, who is leading on that issue.
Well, when I'm out, this is why I'm going out to Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan.
Yeah.
Excuse me, just got in late this morning, actually. But going to 3 states yesterday, and I'm going to continue being on the road. I have to earn the vote, and it means sharing with folks my plan, but also offering them what objective analysts have shown to be the contrast between me and Donald Trump. My plans are focused on working people, the middle class, and what we must do to strengthen hardworking people to be able to do what they dream and aspire to be able to do.
Harris returns to battleground Pennsylvania today and will face questions from undecided voters at a CNN town hall in Philadelphia. Guys.
Hey, hey, hey! Guess what day it is?
It's hump day. Get it on.
Yeah, baby. It's hump day, and it's going to be an epic one today, October 23rd, 2024. We are headed to Georgia tonight to speak with Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson and Tulsi Gabbard and the great Jason Aldean and put it up. Baby, we are ready to rock. If you are in Georgia, get her. Apparently there's a line already around the block waiting to get into the arena. We're very excited about it. And there is a lack of excitement on the other side, let's just say. Kamala Harris has been shoved into the basement that hasn't had a resident for quite a while. Joe Biden, who ran from the basement in 2020, has now been replaced with Kamala Harris in the same basement. She's been kicked off the campaign trail. We talked about this yesterday. We broke this story on this show yesterday. Obama has now stepped forward and is doing full campaign rallies for Kamala Harris. This is a humiliating phenomenon and shows real panic. And there's something totally embarrassing that happened last night with Eminem. Rapper Eminem. Ooh, so soft. Softer than soft serve served to you by Donald Trump from the broken ice cream machine at the McDonald's. Joe Biden calls for Trump to be jailed. Well, thank you. This blends into the greater overall theory that everything is going very poorly on the other side. Congressman Michael Waltz joins the show. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. Stay gold, ladies and gentlemen, with my friends at Allegiance Gold. Make sure that in these trying times, in times that will no doubt bring some insanity over the next 2 weeks, what are they going to pull out? What are they going to do? They're going to try and kill the guy again? What are they going to do with Trump? It's all gone. The ship has sunk to the bottom of the ocean. They've ripped Kamala off the campaign. What's going to happen next? They're going to start World War III? Is that what they're going to do? Something's going to go down. Make sure that you are protected. Your investments are protected. Black Swan events, invest in gold, get $5,000 free silver on a qualifying investment when you go to protectwithbenny.com today. Protectwithbenny.com today. Have you seen silver prices? Skyrocketing, man. Invest in something that has true and real value, an actual commodity. You can call 844-66-BENNY. Don't risk your financial future betting against the crazy forces that are going to lose their minds when Donald Trump wins in November. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I got a conversation I want to have with everybody about the show yesterday. The show yesterday made some waves. And what we talked about yesterday was how desperate the regime is to hold together the remaking of the country. Now, we have to go back a little bit into the recent past to talk through what this country used to be. No matter if you were a Democrat or a Republican, in general, what would happen is you would run for president on a unifying message that America's a good place and a great place, that our founding was solid, that there have always been mistakes made there's no such thing as a perfect nation, but that this is the best that we got, actually. Our freedoms, our founding documents, they're founded upon Christian principles, and that this is about as good as man can make it. And we do our best to perfect that union, that we're all countrymen together, and that everybody, should, quite frankly, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. I love that line because it's like the anti-welfare state line. It's the polar opposite today. It's a line from JFK. Every president in my lifetime has run on that message, including Barack Obama. Barack Obama famously said there's no such thing as a red state or a blue state. There's no such thing as white America or black America. There's just the United States of America. And I'm totally down with that. That's sort of like an echo of an MLK line, right? MLK, I want my kids to not be judged by their skin color, judge them by the content of their character. Are you a good person? Great. Are you a bad person? That has nothing to do with the amount of melanin in your skin based on where your ancestors lived in proximity to the equator. Okay, that's a bad way to judge who's a good person and a bad person, right? So like everyone was down with that. Everyone thought that was a good idea. And that generally, if you wish to lead this nation, you should love this place. You should be willing to die for this place. In fact, most presidents that have served in the military, served in battle. The best presidents served in battle, wartime presidents. And that used to be a norm, that you would be willing to lay down your life for this nation. It certainly was for the first couple hundred years of this country. And then something crazy happened. Something quite interesting happened. Barack Obama began to lose. Barack Obama in his second term became incredibly unpopular and began to slip with support. Republicans gained 60 seats in the House and the Senate. They were able to block everything Obama was doing. Americans didn't like Obama's style of governance. And so Barack Obama decided to change forever. And you could argue potentially that this was just a cloak and dagger thing for Barack. He's just a Trojan horse, that he never believed any of this stuff. And I think that'd be probably a solid assessment. Although Barack Obama did famously say that the American dream is to be Donald Trump. God, love that quote. We should get that. We should get that on a T-shirt, actually, in the store. Barack Obama decided to change forever the fabric of American politics by going hard on race hatred. Now, we haven't seen this in a century. A candidate for president running on racial hatred and division. But the strategy was this: if you can open the border, if you can bring in millions of Americans, that all polling shows and all data shows that newly naturalized immigrants vote 10-1 for the Democrat Party, because you need a leg up inside of this first world nation. You need a leg up. You have to get goodies from the system in order to compete. That those people could change the American electorate forever and usher in a one-party state. If you are able to cobble together the coalition of the dispossessed, all of the disparate groups, the alphabet groups and various, Honduran and Haitian and whatever, Latino, Black, you're able to put them all together, knit them all together through victimhood and grievance and their shared pain living in this wonderful place. The shared horrors of living in this first world, sophisticated, incredible society built by much greater men than them. Then you could recreate the electoral map. You could start winning Texas. You could win Florida. You could flip these states. You could ply away any power that Republicans have, and you could win forever. Kamala Harris replaced Joe Biden because Joe Biden had lost that coalition. Blacks, Latinos, people who were working class decided they really weren't down for what Joe Biden was doing. Joe Biden was doing nothing other than the continuation of Barack Obama's presidency, and it is wildly unpopular. It's more unpopular than ever, these policies. And so Kamala Harris was an emergency red button push, like hit the button, sound the alarm. We've got to keep the coalition together because that's the future. If Black Americans start breaking for Trump, if Latino Americans start breaking for Trump, we have no future. We have no party. If they could be plied over to America first, since they live here and it's just natural to want to put your country first when you live in this place, then you could truly, actually, the opposite could be true. The Democrat Party could lose forever. You could lose the Democratic Party for all time. If Donald Trump is able to do an Uno reverse card and actually remake the country under an America First banner, you'd be in a lot of trouble. And so Kamala Harris was brought in because she was going to be an intersectional, multiracial woman who would be able to keep that coalition together. Oh, wow, we got to vote for her because, in the words of Barack Obama, she looks like us. She comes from our neighborhoods. I'm not sure how many urban Black Americans were raised in the leafy, rich suburbs of Montreal. I'm not sure how many of them parlez-vous français. I don't know, but that was the plan. Barack Obama said it. Barack Obama lectured and muled and boxed about the ears Black and Latino Americans because you have to vote for Kamala Harris because she looks like you and she talks like you and she acts like you, and Kamala Harris does try to talk like them with her fake put upon accents. Then something remarkable continued to happen. There continued to be curses upon the household of Barack Obama because Kamala Harris didn't click. Fetch didn't happen. Kamala Harris has not been able to relate with the American electorate. She has not been able to keep the coalition together. Latinos are now breaking hard for Donald Trump. Black men are voting for Donald Trump in larger numbers than we've ever seen, including and especially the young ones. And if anything, you've accelerated the atomization of the Barack Obama coalition of the dispossessed because you've brought on these asshats like Tim Walz that was supposed to relate with the working man inside of the Rust Belt as he's loading a shotgun with a tampon in his crotch. And so you've lost the working class. The Teamsters unions won't endorse Kamala Harris. The Los Angeles Times yesterday wouldn't endorse Kamala Harris. And so you have a nightmare scenario right now. You have an emergency scenario that's happening in real time in this country for the Democrat Party. And unless they have some type of special nuclear level election rigging device unknown or unseen by mankind, you're not going to be able to make up these margins because we're beginning to see what the early vote return looks like. Early voting has begun in many states. Republicans are swamping. Republicans are ascendant. Republicans are outperforming every margin in every state. You're talking Hail Mary time. And so now you're going to see acts of further desperation. First act, Kamala Harris taken off the trail. She's been taken off the trail for the second day in a row. Yesterday, I had a source call me and say that Kamala Harris is going to be off the trail. And lo and behold, Kamala Harris, here we go, pop this up. Lo and behold, Kamala Harris once again will not be campaigning today. Kamala Harris has nothing on her schedule today. Oh, she'll be participating in a CNN town hall. That's the only thing she has. No speeches, no events, no campaigning, just speaking at a town hall. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kamala Harris being sidelined. And what you are seeing is as they bring Kamala Harris, as they say, well, that didn't work with Kamala Harris, as they take her to the side, as they take her into the same basement, chain her up to the radiator like they did with Joe Biden, you are going to watch something happen, and you're already seeing it, that is so cringe and so embarrassing for those involved that it sort of, frankly, boggles the mind. How compromised is our celebrity class in this country? There's something called leverage I'd like to talk about right now. Leverage is, of course, when an organization, the mafia, says, if you don't pay us, we'll break your kneecaps. Leverage with the celebrity class in this country who are being trotted out like dogs to support Kamala in the most embarrassing possible ways must be so strong. I'm starting to believe that the takedown of Diddy was orchestrated precisely because of this moment. Precisely because, as our sources have told us, they figured out that Joe Biden was losing and that Kamala Harris would potentially lose as well, but could keep the coalition together. And they need to do everything they can to keep that coalition together. The Diddy takedown by the feds have known about Diddy. I mean, Diddy's been like a long time, well understood monster in the industry for decades. They decided to take him down this year. Why? I think it's becoming quite clear. Because everybody who ever went to a Diddy party, everybody who's ever on the guest list, everybody who's ever in the photos, those individuals are now all coming forward against their will and endorsing Kamala Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a artist who's very famous, right? Pretty famous. I'm not familiar with his work. Don't know when the last time he had a successful album, but the guy's named Usher. Usher went on The View just a couple of weeks ago. And Usher told the witches of The View, hey, I ain't endorsing Kamala Harris. Like, F that. That's going to be bad for my work. That's going to be bad for my audience. Like, nobody wants me to be in politics. Screw that. I'm like a musician. I dance. That's it. That's all I do. Watch.
In this emergency that we're in, I think that behooves artists to come out and speak for Kamala against Donald Trump, because he is an existential threat to the country. What do you say to that?
You know what? I don't get too deep into politics. I didn't get a chance to watch the debate last night. I obviously have been watching like everybody else. I think voting is an individual choice. And I think that you're right. You have to look at the reality of the country that we are and the country that we want to be, and find the candidate that you feel both are who fits the category of where we want to be. And that's it. And that's what you vote based off of, who you highlight and how you choose to highlight it on whatever platform you have is your prerogative.
Yes.
Yeah. What a great answer. Listen, I'm not an Usher fan. But what a wonderful answer. What a refreshing answer. And the seance, that is the witch's kitchen of The View, even the audience loved that. He didn't endorse Kamala Harris. He said, yo, this is going to hurt I'm a celebrity. I'm a dancer. I'm a musician. You don't want to hear from me. You don't want to hear from all these people who've been on Epstein's planes, Harvey Weinstein's casting couch, morally lecture you, virtue signal to you. People are sick of that. And apparently, I'm not trying to give him any more credit than credit is due, but apparently Usher got that and it was like, no, I'm not going to endorse anyone. Just like, you do you. How about that? You go do your own research and you vote. That's what every celebrity should say. Are you with me, chat? Like, that's what it would be refreshing, even if the celebrities endorse Trump. It would be refreshing to hear every sports ball player, every musician, every actor, every actress, everyone say, like, how about this? We trust the American people. Do your own research about what's going on. Watch the debates. Follow on social media. You choose. We got faith in you, America. I'd be down with every celebrity saying that when asked their political opinions. Because we know every single one, all y'all were flying on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. You have zero credentials to lecture us about morality, about the direction of the country, about high-minded virtues. Every one of you would do anything on Harvey Weinstein's casting couch to get a movie role. So F off with your high-minded virtue signaling. We don't need to hear your political opinions. You're dumb. On the flip side, I promise you that I will never release an album. I promise you I will never dribble in the NBA. Okay? America's a better place because I'm not singing. It's trust me on that. So good. I'll stay in my lane, you stay in your lane, everyone respect it, free to disagree, free speech, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Something very interesting happened to Ursher after he said that. After he made that bold and very confident commentary on The View, no doubt someone that knows quite a bit about Diddy, including his bestie, Barack Obama. Oh, did you know that? Diddy did a bunch of Obama interviews. They're like good friends. They've been doing interviews. Diddy's been like hyping the Democrat Party for a very long time. Usher's entire career is based on Diddy, Diddy's connections, and Diddy's record company. Suddenly, Diddy, who's in jail, there started to be a lot of accusations, a lot of comments about baby oil and secret videos of A-list celebrities, people that had bigger stars than Diddy, politicians even. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, overnight, Mr. Hey, I'm just like an entertainer, like you do you, America, suddenly is at Kamala Harris campaigns, wearing the Diddy cleanup rag, wearing the Diddy cleanup mop outfit. Ursher, in a humiliation ritual, which are real in Hollywood. Ursher, put that's so embarrassing. You can pop that up. Goes on stage in some oversized bathrobe and was degradingly forced to read what felt like almost at gunpoint an endorsement of Kamala Harris. Ooh, baby. If this doesn't show you how the machine works, man, if this doesn't show you how the machine works, these people don't have a choice. They don't get a choice. Much like we were talking about with the Senate candidates yesterday who are starting to run pro-Trump ads. They've been allowed to do that. The collapse is real. And ladies and gentlemen, we have one more for you. This is a rapper named Eminem. Eminem is supposed to be hard AF. He's such a little gangster. Eminem, of course, had to pay his dues just like everybody else. Eminem has his own Diddy problem. How many Diddy videos was Eminem in? Who knows? Not sure we'll ever find out. But we do know this video exists.
Bump those lips up. Baby, look at that. Ooh.
Like when Phil said this, like dress up as a Britney thing, I was like, yeah. I don't think I really put much thought into it, yeah.
I'm keeping it gangster, homie. I'm keeping it gangster. I'm keeping it real. It's all about keeping it real.
Okay, come on, man. Thank you.
Oh, wait, I gotta hold it, huh? Oh my God! I'm a girl!
Yeah, you are, bitch. Look at this. Look at this. Last night, guess who got the Usher treatment? Guess who got the, oh no, pal, you're going to get pried out of your mansion where you don't want to talk about politics, where you don't want to isolate your dwindling, if non-existent fan base. You're going to get dragged to Detroit because we are losing Michigan right now. And you don't have a choice in the matter. You're going to say yes. You're going to get trotted on stage with Barack Obama. We've written a script for you, and you are going to read the script, and you're going to like it. Okay? Otherwise, there's a lot more where this came from. See how this works? But of course, you don't do things like this. You're burning a card, right? You're burning a chit. You don't do stuff like this unless you're actually desperate. which they are actually desperate. Eminem, in a final act of complete disgrace to a disgraceful and cringe career, decided to side with Dick Cheney. Eminem's got a couple of bars about how much he hates Dick Cheney. Yet here's Eminem and Dick. Eminem, love, Dick. All of them together, on stage together. I'm surprised that Dick Cheney wasn't at this event. You're going to wheel Dick Cheney in his Darth Vader outfit on stage, and he and Eminem can rap about how great the Iraq War was. What a fraud. What fraudulent. Heads, how upset are you if you're an Eminem fan that everything is a lie, that you've been lied to? Never meet your heroes, man. So here's Eminem last night on stage. This has been touted and hyped into the stratosphere that Eminem would be endorsing Kamala Harris in Detroit. It ended up being this limp dick 60-second speech that was written for him before he groveled to Barack Obama on stage. Kamala Harris wasn't even there. So degrading. Here we go.
Detroit. What up, though? So look, I wrote down a few things I wanted to say. I love you too. Thank you. I'm here tonight for a couple of important reasons. As most of you know, the city of Detroit and the whole state of Michigan mean a lot to me. And going into this election, the spotlight is on us more than ever, and I think it's important to use your voice. So I'm encouraging everybody to get out and vote, please. I also think that people shouldn't be afraid to express their opinions. And I don't think anyone wants an America where people are worried about retribution or what people will do if you make your opinion known. I think Vice President Harris supports a future for this country where these freedoms and many others will be protected and upheld. And here to tell you much more about that, President Barack Obama.
I'm in the studio here with Killer Klein, and Killer Klein's like, yeah, I listened to Eminem. Killer Klein's big into MMA and jiu-jitsu. And he's like, I listen to Eminem. And he's just shaking his head. Killer Klein's over here just shaking his head in the studio. His entire worldview's been shattered. He's like, Eminem has multiple songs about how much he hates Dick Cheney and the Cheney family. Now Eminem and the Cheney family are the same. Jerry, can I get a face swap of Liz Cheney and Eminem? I bet they look like the exact same person. They look like the same person. Can you give me that for the show? We'll put that up, boys, when we got it. I bet if you face swapped Eminem's face on Liz Cheney's body, it'd be the same person. You'd probably like it. So here we go. We're not done yet. Wait till you see this. So Barack Obama decided in the middle of this speech, and let me remind you, Kamala Harris is not at this Kamala Harris campaign rally. Kamala Harris has been banned. Barack Obama has decided to run for president 4 times in a row. Barack Obama is the keynote. Kamala Harris is nowhere to be found. She's in the basement. She's freaking locked away. It's like Stan. She's chained to a radiator. Well, Barack Obama's out literally running for president for her with disgraced Eminem, who doesn't want his Diddy tape to come out. You know, that'd be a terrible thing, Em. Since you're 50 and you still act like an angsty little teenager in your sweatsuit, mumbling a script. How embarrassing was it? You can mumble a script. First off, you're wearing a hat. This is so bad. It's going to backfire like Lizzo. You're wearing a hat. You're looking down at your script. You're reading it. No one can make eye contact with you. How effective of an endorsement is this? Yes, I like Kamala Harris. She is great. She is so hood. Yo. Kamala is a real one. I support ISIS. I support the Islamic Caliphate. All praise be to the Islamic Caliphate. I am giving this statement by myself. I wrote it myself. No, there are not armed men behind me forcing me to say this. I like it here in ISIS. It is fun to be in this desert camp. I have had a nice time in captivity. It's a freaking hostage video, dude. So degrading. What do they got on these people? Yo, what do they got on these people? Eminem's been, humiliating himself for a while. I think that this is the deal with Eminem, is that Eminem has some really controversial lyrics about some very protected groups that you're not allowed to make fun of anymore. Use some words you're not allowed to say anymore that maybe everyone was saying in the 90s, but now it's out of chic, polite society. And so Eminem is having to grovel to retain relevancy and continue to release albums. Eminem has to do this. This is the tolls paid, along with whatever's on the Diddy tapes and the Epstein tapes and all the rest of them. That's how they get you. Listen to Barack Obama. Here's the cringe alert. Barack Obama starts rapping in the middle of his speech. Kamala's nowhere to be found. I would actually, how much? I don't have a ton of money, but I'll pay. What would it take to get Kamala Harris to rap? I would have loved to have seen Kamala do the rap. Where was Kamala? I want Kamala to do the rap. I'll pay. What does it take? I apologize. It'll probably turn me into. Can Kamala please start rapping? I'll give anything for Kamala to start rapping Eminem lyrics. Please, I beg of you, make that a thing. Hey, Kamala campaign. That's so cool. That'll win back every young black man that you've lost. Have Kamala start rapping. But the best that we have is actually, it's close to as cringe. Barack Obama doing his best Eminem impression last night. Nuclear cringe, baby. Here we go.
Now I notice my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, vomit on my sweater already, mom's spaghetti. I'm nervous, but on the surface I look calm and ready to drop bombs, but I keep on forgetting.
Somebody come get Uncle. He's had too many White Claws. Somebody come get Unc. He thinks he's still in college. He had too many White Claws at the cookout. What is that? What the hell is that? Okay, our production team, which is the best production team on the internet, we often say it, but they prove it every day, has proven me wrong, has wrecked me. I often get wrecked multiple times during the show. But Kamala did rap. I'm wrong. Kamala rapped. We got close. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Kamala rapping with another endorsement, totally bought and paid for by the Democrat Party. A guy named Quavo. Ooh, this is tough. This is painful. I apologize. Here we go.
Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been talking a big game about securing our border, but he does not walk the walk. Or as my friend Quavo would say, he does not walk it like he talks it.
Where'd you learn that accent, Kamala? The leafy suburbs of Montreal? Eating poutine? Not Putin. Poutine? In your mansion in Canada? He does not walk it like he talk it. Where's that come from? Exactly. Where'd Barack Obama learn to rap? Hawaii? Hard streets of Maui? Sipping your coconut. Ladies and gentlemen, these people are frauds. And they are in panic. And it is a delicious thing to see. They are so salty right now. I do have to take one final little round here on Eminem, because I want you to know that like all these little gangsters, all these little Tupacs, and all these people, like it's all fake. It's all fraudulent. The entire thing, the entire industry, is fake. And I know Eric's watching that. Eric's a big rap fan on our staff. He's a big rap fan. I'm not saying every rapper. I'm saying rappers that they let into superstardom, they're compromised. Yo, they're compromised. This was not a surprise with Eminem. Not if you've been paying attention. As soon as Donald Trump got into office, Eminem went into a parking garage and decided to freestyle about how bad Donald Trump was. Check this out.
Better give Obama props, because what we got in office now's a kamikaze that'll probably cause a nuclear holocaust. He'll just gas his plane up and fly around till the bombing stops.
Let's see here. The number one time that we didn't have war in this country, you whore, is because of Trump, who bumped Kim Jong-un and Putin to the floor. Out the door. Ooh, wow. Give me a label. Biden, who's insane, who started a war in Ukraine, lots of pain, because he's got no brain, huh? Israel bombed because of your mom. Got it? Oh man, that's gonna be clipped, isn't it? You know, like, so the opposite happened. That's how broken these people. Put it up. Just put it up. Just put it up. Just. You're a new Secretary of Defense. There you go. This is all. So, your new Secretary of Defense. Feminem. Look at that. Oh, that's perfect. What's wrong with these people? They're such fraud. They don't believe anything. They believe what they're told. They do what their handlers tell them to do. They they disgrace themselves. They betray their fans. But it's most important, right? Like Eminem loved being so edgy and rapping about Dick Cheney. Oh yeah, Dick loves it. Dick loves it. That's right. Incited the erection. That's Chuck Schumer's line, not mine. Don't come for me. Don't be mad at me. Chuck Schumer said it from the Senate floor. Donald Trump incited the erection. He said it. Okay? Don't get angry at me. These people. It's like, I'll tell you, has Eminem apologized for that? Saying that Donald Trump's going to start a nuclear war? We've never been closer to nuclear war in my lifetime because of the people Eminem supported. Because of Eminem's buddies who have been in office. Does he care? Does that matter to him? Does it matter to him? Hey, to the last 17 people living in a Detroit suburb in a group house, wearing Jinko jeans, eating ramen noodles, thinking that Eminem's hard, and he's just such badass. I have one final little bit for you here. Eminem, when he hears the word Donald Trump, when he hears the name Donald Trump, gets thrown into a hysterical panic attack where he admits on camera that he can't even think or breathe. So the name Donald Trump causes Eminem to have menopausal hot flashes. He's man enough to admit that, boys. Okay? He's man enough.
Talking about Trump, I get too flustered in my head. The shit that I want to say, there's too many things I want to say at once. So sometimes I start talking and I'm not able to convey the message the right way because I just get flustered and frustrated. If you're talking about his core being, a majority white middle class, watching him play to his base that thinks that he cares about them, and it's actually the people that he cares about the least. What I don't understand is how in the do you feel like you relate to a billionaire who has never known struggle his entire life? There's part of me that understands, like, all right, he's somehow still got them because he's brainwashing them into thinking that something great is gonna happen. Nothing's happening. I don't know, man. I get really flustered.
I get really flustered. I'm such a badass. I get really flustered when I talk about Trump. I'm sad. Nothing good is happening. Nothing. I'm Eminem. Donald Trump did more for the people that Eminem claims to speak to and talk about. If you go back into the trailer parks where Eminem is from, all those people support Trump. Eminem has abandoned where he is from. He is a complete and total chameleon fraud. He has forgotten where he's from. And he has decided to, in part, take upon himself the rich mansion elitism of left-wing ideologies inside of some of the wealthiest, pretentious, out-of-touch neighborhoods in the entire country. He thinks he's better than the average working-class American who says, yeah, actually, Donald Trump did do wonderful things for us and did make life better for us. I am a white, working-class, middle-aged person. Eminem, on the other hand, has a net worth of $250 million. So Eminem's a quarter of a billionaire. So Eminem's like, how could you relate to a billionaire? Well, you're on your way, buddy. Boy, free speech has been pretty great for you. Isn't that amazing? Free speech has been great for you. Eminem talking about how we want free speech. Yeah, Eminem was able to push the very upper limits of free speech on his albums. Talking about lots of things that probably get the channel taken down. If I were to just read Eminem lyrics, if I were to just read some Eminem lyrics from his albums, the channel would come down. Okay? Eminem made a fortune off that. And now he backs the person that's trying to ban us all on Facebook and Instagram. He backs the regime that is the first regime in American history that is actively assaulting free speech and coordinating to kill Elon Musk's Twitter. And that's a quote from a big breaking news piece yesterday. So there you go. Look at that. Eminem's got quite a. This is very interesting. Look at where Eminem lives. Quite a distance from the trailer park, pal. Interesting. It's almost like people like Eminem have it so good that they don't want anything to change. Kind of like Taylor Swift. If you're a billionaire, you just want the system to stay the same. Screw everyone else. Screw everyone who actually lives in a trailer park and wants to buy like a split level home, like wants their American dream. Screw those people. You got yours, you fraud. You got yours, rapping about how much you hate Dick Cheney. Then you cuddle with Dick Cheney. Then you literally sit on Dick Cheney's lap, hold his pacemaker, and support putting his neocon daughter in as Secretary of Defense. Ladies and gentlemen, this just shows panic. It really does. It shows the total panic of what this regime has force-fed the American people for the better part of the last, my entire lifetime, actually. Right? So it's like, now that Eminem has sided with the Bushes and the Cheneys, like at what point you have to go back 20 years to find anything different. 30 years. You have to go back to freaking Reagan. Like a Bush, a Clinton, and Obama, and now Biden are all the continuation of the same thing, the same ideology. And Eminem just endorsed George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. The only deviation from that ever has been Trump. And people know it. People know it. It's not working. It's not working, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited to get to our guest today, but I do want to show you something. MSNBC went into the hood and asked black people about Kamala Harris and whether this attempt at bringing in Barack Obama and bringing in Eminem and bringing in Usher and bringing in Lizzo, is this working? Is this working? I want to show you why the panic is happening. I want to show you what's driving all of this, right? Because the Eminem stuff, like, you've never seen Eminem on the campaign trail for a presidential campaign. You've never seen that. These are desperation moves. These are career-ending desperation moves by compromised people. And here's why. Listen to MSNBC here.
And I just wonder for anybody who heard that, like, what they thought of that.
I was deeply offended. And it felt like a moment where it's like, you N-words better get in line and do what we say. And it felt like him as the czar of the Democratic Party coming down to say, go get these N-words in line. And the general tone of it was disgusting. It was abhorrent. I don't respect it. I didn't like nothing about it. And Kamala, 2 days after that, is like, we love our black men. We have programs and things that we're rolling out for them, and she rolled out policy.
Good cop, bad cop. You know, because
I'm tired of the good cop, bad cop. I'm tired of it.
They're talking about Obama walking in and saying, you're going to vote for Kamala Harris because she's from your neighborhoods. I don't think that guy's from the leafy suburbs of Montreal, where every house is a mansion, where Kamala Harris grew up with her PhD parents working at the elite university there. I don't think those guys are from that neighborhood. I may be wrong. Do they parlez-vous français? Do they smoke a cigarette? Do they eat their poutine? It's not working. People do not want to hear from washed up celebrities who are only doing political endorsements because they lost their free private jet travel on Epstein's plane, and they lost their movie roles because Harvey Weinstein's casting couch isn't available anymore, and they lost their fun Saturday nights because Diddy's now in jail. We don't want to hear from you people. These celebrity endorsements are backfiring, actually. It is. It's backfiring. Have a listen to this. This is really absolutely wild. Let's continue on with this MSNBC panel, and then we'll get to our guest. Black voters support deportation.
I agree with the idea of mass deportation, largely. You have criminals in this country who are destroying our nation. They're coming in here, getting earmarked bills and policies to open up businesses, get free housing, get access, easier access than those who are legally immigrated to this country to welfare and other benefits. So, like, as a taxpayer, we have to pay for these guys to have luxuries of life, and we don't get anything, especially black Americans who've suffered so much in the system under Democrats. We don't get anything. That's insane. You talked about Springfield, Ohio, and the whole thing with the fluff talk of, oh, grabbing the soundbite about Haitians or whatever is eating cats and dogs. Y'all trying to change the narrative of what he's really talking about. Change the narrative of really what we're talking about. And telling us that's what we should be discussing. No, this here, this is what we're discussing. This here, this is America. And this is what America is about and what we're discussing.
Bro, when are you running for office? Can I support your campaign? Let me know where I can donate, pal. When's that guy running for office? What a G. Yeah, you're right. You try to make it about eating cats and dogs? By the way, that's a banger. It's a song of the summer. We love that. We were able to troll libs off the internet by taking their troll songs about eating the cats and dogs and like making them into rap anthems better than anything Eminem's produced in the last 20 years. Black voters on Donald Trump. Last clip. Here we go. And this was broadcast live on MSNBC. And I got to tell you, you'll never find me complimenting these people, but at least they're airing the truth here. They're steeping it, of course, in their own bias. But I respect going out into, touching grass, going out and finding out what actual Americans believe. Because if you ask actual Americans, black, white, purple, if life's gotten better or worse for them in the last 4 years, here's the answer you get. It just happens to come from a black American saying, no, man, Trump's the only way.
I believe Trump is going to win because, first off, when people say bad things about him, where does that affect us down here? That doesn't affect our neighborhoods. It has never affected our neighborhoods. We don't even get to see half the things that go on that level.
We know that he's going to win because he is the best for America. He's worried about our economy.
The crime is high. The violence is high. The schools are bad. We can go on and on. Where Democrats have been in charge for 40 years.
We're voting for Donald Trump unequivocally. Period. No one else is going to persuade us. We 2 weeks out, and we won't sleep until November the 6th.
Oh, man, I love that energy. We're going to Atlanta right after the show. We're so excited to... I'm going to catch that energy, okay? We're going to catch it. We're going to Atlanta. We're going to... Why not? We're going to go give away MAGA hats. We're going to go give away a bunch of MAGA hats. We're going to do it at in Fulton County at the jail if they want to put Trump in. We're going to give away T-shirts with Trump's mugshot on them. These are predominantly black neighborhoods, and we're going to have our final troll of Fannie Willis. We've been wanting to do this for a while, so get ready. Get ready. We're going to Atlanta with a plan. After the show today. Believe that. Oh, baby. All right. Somebody else who you should believe is Congressman Michael Waltz, who joins us live now to talk about, well, bringing peace to the world. I'm getting that last name right, Congressman.
Thank you. Waltz with a T. T for Trump.
I've been working on it. I've never seen you do jazz hands, bro. I've never seen you like throw glitter in the air.
Well, you know what I can show you? I can show you. I promise you, I know how to load a shotgun. Right. And by the way, when I go out and hunt, I don't have a $2,000 automatic Benelli. Right? I mean, do you see those guys? It looked like somebody went to Bass Pro and just got all new gear, and I didn't know he needed a platoon to shoot some pheasant. But
he didn't shoot a pheasant. He didn't fire a single shot, according to the reporter. And
he didn't know how to load the weapon.
They got one bird and they weren't able to recover it. So,
hey Benny.
Oh, okay.
Hey, can I just? I know you just watching that previous segment. Here's the hard truth for Black Americans, and to get the book in there. What President Trump did for Black Americans is what's resonated for them. Minority opportunity zones that pulled billions of dollars of investment into Black businesses and minority-owned businesses actually incentivized that investment. The first time ever, not Obama, not Clinton, that permanent funding is in place that Donald Trump put in place for historically Black colleges and universities. And I think the biggest one, the justice reform that let people out of prison that were put in prison for minor drug offenses from Joe Biden's crime bill. Remember, I'm holding up the little vial of crack, 3 strikes, you're out, and on and on. I mean, they're responding to what he actually did, not her and Eminem's and others' ridiculous rhetoric. And, vibes don't pay the bills. Vibes don't keep your family safe. Vibes doesn't keep the world at peace. That's, you're seeing it left and right and center. And what I'm seeing, I was just in Pennsylvania and North Carolina, is the Democrats are so confused. Their base is so scrambled that from a voter turnout standpoint, if they do souls to polls, which is right out of their playbook, they don't know which way these Black men are going to vote. So it could work against them. If they turn out union workers, it's going to work against them. So the coalition that they've relied on, that they've taken for granted, Hispanics too, for that matter, is completely in disarray because what President Trump did, that's a very recent memory. It's not just rhetoric, it's action. And it's resonating and it's working. And I think we're going to win.
So you have your new book out, Hard Truths, Think and Lead Like a Green Beret. You're actually somebody who is a gangster. You actually did carry weapons of war in war.
A lot.
Eminem fancies himself a little gangster, but weeps on stage endorsing Kamala Harris, his mascara and eyeliner running down his face, and then literally says he has panic attacks and menopausal meltdowns when he hears the name Donald Trump. That's these people are fraudulent. They're being trotted out. I think like these aren't the best messengers, right? Like all you have to do is read Eminem lyrics, and like any Eminem lyric for the first 20 years of his career would not be allowed to be played at a Democrat rally. This seems like desperation, and now Kamala Harris is off the campaign trail. What the hell's happening, Congressman?
Yeah, well, they're throwing crap against the wall out of desperation for something to stick. They can't roll out Hillary Clinton. They can't roll out Bernie, right? So they're reaching to anybody they can, tried and true, roll out Obama. My favorite kind of desperate tactic the last week was that suddenly somehow Trump is low energy. And that he has some kind of physical and mental decline. The guy's doing 5 rallies a day and squeezing in a round of golf. I can tell you his staff is worn out because he only needs like 3 hours of sleep. I've never seen an engine like it. And so they're just throwing stuff against the wall, which is a classic hallmark of a desperate campaign. And what she can't do, she can't stick with Biden's record. Nobody wants a second Biden term. She doesn't know what she's running towards because she doesn't have any principles. So all they're going to do is roll out whatever they can against Trump, and it's just not working.
Bro, Obama looks beat. He looks like we want to talk about somebody who looks like needs a rest. It's Barack Obama. This guy looks tired. He looks emaciated. Like, eat a cheeseburger, bro. It looked like Slender Man.
That vegan diet will get you.
Yeah, that's right. It looks like Jack Skellington.
Up at Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They should have accepted some of the Venezuelans that Florida sent up there. Could have cooked them could have fried them some arepas. I got to tell you, it's not working. So what do you think is going to happen in the next couple of weeks? Are they going to try another assassination attempt? Like, what are they going to do? They're going to actually let Trump become president? I mean,
here's what I'm worried. Well, one, they've gone right back to the Hitler rhetoric, right back to the fascist rhetoric. Yeah, and obviously you've had 2 people already that said, hey, if this is going to be the next dictator that's going to take all my rights, which all the mainstream media is saying, all the Democrats are saying, then the ends justify the means to kill him. And the old kind of thought experiment, what if you could have taken Hitler out in 1932, right? Wow. And that radicalization is incredibly dangerous, and they've just tossed it right aside, right back to it. But what I'm really worried about, what's keeping me up at night, is the Iranians. And I just want everybody to understand, Benny, this is not the kind of death to America chant you hear every Friday after the prayers at the mosque, typical stuff from the Ayatollahs. They have decided it is worth crossing the red line to assassinate a former president, to assassinate a leading political candidate, and they have operational plotting and planning going on right now as we speak. And this administration, by basically shoulder shrugging, I mean, they release a statement from the NSC that maybe this is a bad idea, would be an act of war, about as weak as you could get. What Biden should be doing, what Harris should be doing, is acting as a commander-in-chief, standing at the podium and saying, politics aside, you touch the hair on an American's head and one of our elected officials, and we're going to wipe you out. Here's the consequences. Here's the repercussions. But instead, you get this mealy-mouthed response that's basically green-lighting a foreign enemy to assassinate our leading political candidate. And by the way, the Russians, Chinese, the terrorists, everybody else are watching for this to become the new normal. And they should have done it years ago. They've been trying to take out him and his cabinet for years now. But what their MO is to recruit criminals, to recruit gangs, to work with the cartels and our wide open border to assassinate President Trump. And they're trying to do it right now as we speak.
Wow. I mean, prayers up, That's all you can do.
Well, what I'm doing is trying to get them the damn military. If they're using their military, we need to be using ours. Not just the Secret Service. The military has things they don't have. And yet I can't get a straight answer except that, a lot of hand-wringing, which is essentially inviting this to happen.
We have an article here about you warning about infiltration by Iran and sort of the indifference, right? Like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend from the Biden regime. And then you have Joe Biden saying he wants to lock up Donald Trump yesterday, which is, We ain't never seen anything like that. A sitting president saying that my opponent needs to be in jail. Joe Biden just finally gone there. Maybe the dementia has finally like hit the brainstem, or maybe they're just that desperate. It seems to me, Congressman, and in closing, I'll let you have the last word here, but it seems to me that none of this is normal. All of this is an act of panic. It seems very scattered and disparate and atomized, and like they are just trying as much as they can to like stop the bleeding. And with a candidate that can't even go and campaign, I don't think they're going to save this patient. Your thoughts?
Well, look, here's the hard truth. And that is, how Green Berets think differently. We specialize in guerrilla warfare. We embed ourselves with freedom fighters. We have to learn local languages. Look, the SEALs, best in the world. 2 bullets in a forehead like Osama bin Laden. Get in and get out, lightning raid. We specialize in those long-term embedded psychological operations type missions. And I know infiltration when I see it. And that's exactly what the Iranians are doing. Can you imagine, Benny, if Trump were in power and Russian hit teams were out to kill his political opponent and he was kind of shoulder shrugging about it all?
Winking and nodding.
Media would be losing their collective minds. But instead, he would establish deterrence. And that's what I talk about in here, the traits that helped me marshal the tribes of Afghanistan, Africa, or what have you, in line with our interests. I apply those now to what we have to do in the swamp. But I got to tell you, man, the tribes of the DC swamp make the tribes over in Afghanistan look easy. I've never encountered anything like this, but we've got to fight this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, Congressman, you're one of the few who's actually doing it. Here's the link to the book, by the way. This is awesome. Thank you for sending us a copy. Hard Truth Thinks Like a Green Beret. Really hope that President Trump takes a hard look at you for Secretary of Defense, and that Liz Cheney cries a lot on Election Day, because we all know that that's where they want to put a Cheney back in. Isn't that something?
President
Eminem raps all his entire album. There's entire albums dedicated to how much he hates the Cheneys, and now he's on the same side advocating for Liz Cheney.
Well, President Trump's endorsed the book, by the way, and proceeds don't go to me. They go to veterans charities for the Green Berets that I lost. So please take a look.
My man. Thank you, Congressman. Hope to see you on the trail in these next 2 weeks.
Will do.
Oh, yeah. Joe Biden went there. Dude, Joe Biden says, gotta lock up Donald Trump. All right. The senility of Joe Biden's great. Like, what do you mean you gotta lock him up, bro? You were just wearing a MAGA hat. Like, you were just wearing a MAGA hat. You just wore one. Like, it's great. It's fun. Here's Joe Biden. Gotta lock him up.
It sounds like if I said this 5 years ago, you'd lock me up. We gotta lock him up. Politically lock him up.
Grotesque. He's been talking like this for a long time, though. It's not a democracy. This is our chance to actually reassert ourselves as we the people. This is an opportunity for us, and this comes once in a generation. This is an opportunity for us to unmake the machine. Joe Biden has been talking about this for a long time. This is from 2022. Good old ALXAI, we call him, the original ChatGPT. ALXAI bringing back the 2022 news clips of Joe Biden saying, "We're going to demonstrate that Donald Trump will not take power."
That G7 conversation was tied to your predecessor, who is about to launch another campaign. So how do you reassure them, if that is the reason for their questioning, that the former president will not return, or that his political movement, which is still very strong, will not once again take power in the United States?
Well, we just have to demonstrate that he will not take power by, if he does run, making sure he, under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president again.
You have to demonstrate that he will not take power. Does that sound like a democracy to you? Does that sound like a defender of democracy? We must demonstrate that he that he will not take power. This is about as logical as Eminem saying that he's siding with free speech by supporting Kamala Harris, the wretched communist who has spent every waking moment leveraging to kick off President Trump from social media, you and me from social media. Check out the Twitter files. Check out the Facebook files. Yo, how bad is it that Mark Zuckerberg coming out being like, these people are bastards. Mark Zuckerberg released a letter saying the Biden regime are communists. They continue. They tried every single day. They were pressuring us with the destruction of Facebook if we didn't censor Americans. Eminem, I'm for free speech. I'm for Kamala Harris. These people are so cucked. What's not embarrassing is do it. Okay, there you go. There's it. The final one. This is good. There you go. Here's your new album. New album. Let's end on a high note, baby. Tulsi Gabbard joining the Republican Party. Amazing. What a swap. The greatest swap in history is Liz Cheney for Tulsi Gabbard. Let's go.
And it is because of my love for our country, and specifically because of the leadership that President Trump has brought to transform the Republican Party and bring it back to the party of the people and the party of peace, that I'm proud to stand here with you today, President Trump, and announce that I'm joining the Republican Party. I'm joining the party of the people, the party of equality, the party that was founded to fight against and end slavery in this country. It is the party of common sense, and the party that is led by a president who has the courage and strength to fight for peace.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Bring it home. Baby, we got to bring it home. We got to catch a flight up to Georgia, but I would never leave without a verse of the day. Here we go. Verse of the day from Hebrews. Ooh, great. I'm reading Hebrews right now. Don't forget to do good things for others and to share what you have with them. These are the kinds of sacrifices that pleases God. We're out here to make this movement as big and as real as possible, because we got kids, man. I got kids. I got these little kids that come running to me when I come home, and I want to leave a stronger, better nation for them than the way I found this country, than the country I was born into. That's what moral people do. And so we are going to sacrifice for our children. That's my motivator. I bet that's your motivator if you're an honorable and noble person. We're going to sacrifice to make sure that we save this place. And not only that, that we accelerate into a new American century and make this country the country that it could truly be if we rid ourselves of the cancer of what Barack Obama is desperately trying to save on his deathbed, which is visceral, divisive identity politics, which will be the death of this place if we decide to hate each other and identify as in-group, out-group. No, we are the United States of America. We love this place, and we're going to save it. It's going to happen in 2 weeks. We're so excited to be a part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's rock and roll. We'll see you up at the Trump campaign event in Georgia. Here we go. One more time. What an honor. And a lot more to come from that. It's called We Do a Little Trolling. We're going to do a little trolling while we're up there. We're going to miss our chances. All gas, no brakes. Let's go. It's your boy Benny. We're going to win. See ya.
Hey, hey, hey! Guess what day it is?
It's hump day. Get it on.
The biggest ships in the sea, all owned by the oldest kings, and their dying legacy, media dillweeds. Soon will the Benny Show come to mind, the salt from lives for fun. Leave the gold and bring the gun, we sail for #1. Show come to mind, the salt from lives for fun. Leave the gold and bring the gun, we sail for #1. The biggest ships in the sea, all owned by the oldest kings.